I'm going to show you all of the build mode cheats and hotkeys that you need to know in order to become a better and faster builder. To get to the wall tool quickly, just press B on your keyboard and it'll take you right to it. Obviously, when you're using the wall tool, you'll just draw walls like this, but if for some reason you happen to make a mistake, hold down the control key and draw back over that part that you don't want and it'll actually delete it for you. This is so much faster than going to the sledgehammer and then individually deleting it and then going back to the wall tool. I use this one all the time. I know a lot of people make rooms like this, like they draw all of the walls individually. Instead of doing that, just hold down the shift key and it'll make a room instead of a wall. Yes, I know you can go down and click on the room tool, but this is a really good thing to have if you're like you want to make a room and then you want to quickly put it in half. It's just so much faster than going back and forth in between these two. Let's say you want to grab this blue right here. You can either click on by wall, which will place it on each individual wall piece, or you can click on by room, which will place it on the entire room. Sometimes you don't want it to place on the entire house or the entire room, so instead what you can do, make sure you're on by wall and you can hold down the alt key and it'll just place on the wall that you're hovering over, or you can hold down shift and it'll place on the entire thing. When it comes to roofs, there's a couple of hotkeys that I use that I feel like not a lot of people know about. I'm gonna grab the half gabled roof, and the first thing that I always do is I use the period or comma key to rotate it. I used to do this and then press this button and then just like rotate it until it got to the right spot, but it's just so much easier to press the period or comma keys. Sometimes it's really annoying when you use these half gabled roofs because whenever you drag them out to cover your house, it gets super tall, but if you hold down the alt key while dragging your roof, it'll stay at the same exact height. And this works with every roof, by the way. So I have a gabled roof here and I'm gonna hold down the alt key and it just stays at the same height. And that might sound confusing to you. You might be like, what do you mean the same height? See how it's only this tall? When you hold down alt, it'll stay that exact height. So let's say you drag it out to be this tall and you're like, okay, I want it to stay that height. I don't want it to go this tall. Like I said, just hold down alt and it'll stay at that height. A couple more things you can do with roofs is you can hold down shift to only drag in one eave instead of both. I'm holding down shift again and then it'll just drag in that left side and the right will stay the same. See how this isn't all the way connected and it looks a little bit weird? Well, whenever you do this, now it's hanging out and it's too long. So what you would do is of course just hold down shift and it'll bring that even. To adjust the roof's pitch, you would use this arrow to bring it up or down. You can see that when I'm doing this, it goes up and down in increments instead of going smoothly. To raise it or lower it smoothly, just hold down the alt key. I do this all the time because I like my roofs to line up perfectly. I'm gonna raise it up a little bit more. And there we go. Sometimes you just don't want it to go that high, so holding down alt is a really good way to get that precise, perfect roof. Another thing you can do with your roofs is click on your roof piece and then press Shift C, and this will unlock some more manipulation points. And you can make your roofs look really cute. Like I think this would be really cute on like a cottage build. And then if you drag the eaves out, you can also adjust the height of the eaves, which is really cool. Before placing any item like windows, furniture, literally anything, I highly recommend turning on the Move Objects cheat. So you're going to hold down Shift Control C and then first type in testing cheats space on. And then press enter. Next, you're going to type in bb.moveobjects, then press enter, and now Move Objects cheat is on. You can press Shift Control C to get the cheat bar to go away. So now that we've got cheats enabled, we're able to do a lot more things in build mode. For example, I use this window from base game all the time, but whenever you place two next to each other, there's a gap in between them, and sometimes I don't really want there to be a gap in between them. I'm going to click on this window and I'm going to hold down the alt key, and now you can freely place it anywhere you want. So I'm just going to bring it over until it meets the other one. Sometimes it's really hard to get them to line up, but as you do it more, it gets easier. Now it looks like one window instead of two. A couple more hotkeys that I like to use is the page up and page down buttons. So if you press page down, it'll take your room down one level, and also pressing the home or the end key will make your walls go all the way down or halfway down. Of course, you can still use these buttons up here if you want to, but using the hotkeys sometimes is just quicker. Moving on to the interior, I'm going to grab this wood. See how the wood planks are going horizontally? Make sure you have by tile selected, and then if you press the period or the comma key, it'll actually rotate the flooring to be up and down instead of left and right. After you rotate it, just hold down shift to cover the entire room. Another thing you can do with flooring is you can actually get quarter tiles. Just press Control F and then you can see that that unlocked the quarter tiles, and I'm just gonna place them kind of next to each other. And now this is like a little sectioned off place for a kitchen or a bathroom or whatever you want. To get the regular square back, just press Ctrl F again. You can also make custom flooring. I'm gonna grab the same wood that I used earlier, and again make sure it's on by tile. Press the period or the comma key to rotate it, and I'm gonna place this flooring on every other tile, kind of like a checkerboard style. Now that I have that done, we're gonna press the period or the comma key again to get it to be up and down, and we're just gonna fill in all of those other spots. And now it looks really cool, like a woven wood pattern. With some nightstands, whenever you place them, they're kind of far away from the bed. So what I always do is I just click on the nightstand and then hold down the Alt key to freely place it. You can do this with basically any item. So like with the bed, I said this in my last video, but one of my pet peeves is that the beds are like never fully up against the wall. So I'll just click on the bed, hold down Alt, and then place it up against the wall. Now, if you go to your camera settings and click on the Sims 3 camera, I always use a Sims 3 camera because I'm always freely placing items and rotating them. And then once you do that, you're able to freely rotate items as well. So click on any object, hold down Alt, and then click and drag. I see a lot of people do this with their rugs, I guess to make it look a little bit more lived in and realistic. To size down items, just click on the left bracket key. You can also size items up using the right bracket key. I'm just going to size this down once and then hold down the Alt key to place it closer to the bed. So whenever you do this, you're going to run into an issue where all of your items are going to be floating in midair. There's lots of ways to do this, but I think the simplest way is to just grab whatever item you're trying to put on your size down object, place it right next to it, and then you're going to press the 9 key, and this will raise the item up. Once it looks good, you can slide it on over to it. Sometimes it doesn't work, like you can see it just glitched. So if it doesn't work for you, just move your nightstand or whatever item, then move this over, and then you can place your nightstand back. You might have noticed that it kind of is inside of the nightstand. Unfortunately, that just happens sometimes. Like if I raise it up one more time, it's gonna be too tall. So sometimes your items are just gonna be inside of other furniture, but it's fine. I went ahead and made this house 2 stories so that I can show you a really awesome tip that you can use with your stairs. So sometimes when you're placing stairs, it's kind of hard to tell like where it's gonna end up on the top floor. So usually you'll end up placing them and then you go up to the top floor and you're like, oh no, that's not where I want it to be. So then you'll go back down and then move it again. Instead of doing all that work, go to the top floor and then grab your stairs, and then you're going to hold down the Control key, and this allows you to place your stairs on the floor below, but you're able to see where it's going to end up from the top floor. I feel like not a lot of people know about this, so if you didn't know and I just taught you something new, let me know in the comments below. When you're placing cabinets in your kitchen, click on the color swatches and then click on this gear icon. You'll unlock all of these different cabinet pieces. I'm going to place this one and place it on the end here. I'm actually going to delete this piece and put it right there. I'll place another one over here. I always like to grab this small one and place it above the stove so that I can have room underneath it to add a stove hood. Using these different cabinet pieces can really upgrade your kitchen and make it look a lot better. You can do the same thing with the counters. So go to your counter, click on the color swatches and then the gear icon. So this one is called left end piece. So we're going to put that one here. Then this is just the regular one. And then this one is called right end piece. Look how cute this is compared to doing like 3 of these. It saves a little bit more space and I think it just looks better. I want to place an island in the middle of the kitchen. I'm going to click on the island piece, and then let's say I want to do like a round island. I'm going to click on rounded inner corner. I'll place one here. I'm going to press the period key to rotate it and just keep doing that until it makes a circle. As you can see, there's a random hole in the middle, so I'm just going to grab like a bowl of fruit and cover it up. This won't place in the center even if I hold down the Alt key, so what I'm going to do is just move these 2 pieces back, click on the bowl of fruit and hold down the Alt key, and you can cover it up this way. Okay, now I'm going to show you a couple more examples of different types of islands that you can do. I'm going to take this regular island piece and then this rounded outer corner piece and just place that on both ends. Now we have a cute little half rounded island. This one from Dream Home Decorator is probably my favorite because look at these round end pieces. It is so cute. Like there's books, there's a little plant, some mugs, and some plates. By the way, I know this isn't like a cheat or a hotkey, but like I said, I just wanted to include this because I felt like it was important for new players to know, or just people who didn't know about this. I just wanted them to know about it. Now back to actual cheats. We're going to press Shift Control C, and I'm going to type in bb.show hidden objects, and then press enter, and then bb.show no live edit objects. Now go to the search bar and then you're going to type in debug and click on any of these. When you do this, you unlock all of these different items. You have cars, you have tons of different plants and trees to use. You have like a little baby bottle. Then you have all of these different drinks and foods. So basically all of these items are already in the game. So you know, whenever your sim is cooking and they have like a pan or they have a cutting board, these items are those items that your sims are using. Just be careful when you place them, because I just placed this and it won't let me delete it. I think there's a way to delete it though. I think if you just place a room around it and then click on the room and press the delete button, and that'll delete it. That's how you do that if you have a random item that won't get off your lot. I actually use a mod called the Better Build By mod. Basically what that mod does is it organizes the debug menu and the live edit menu. Instead of searching debug and scrolling through it endlessly, it puts all of the items in the correct places. So like if you go to kitchen and click on a refrigerator, all of those food items and drinks that you saw, that'll be under the refrigerator section. And then same thing for like the plants. Whenever you go to trees and bushes, there will be like hundreds of different ones to choose from. So if you're able to have mods, I highly recommend that mod. I use it every time I build, and I'll leave the link in the description below. Alright, so whenever I'm placing plants, I like to do it in a very specific way. Like most people, when they place stuff, they click on a plant and then they place it, and then they click on it again and just keep doing this over and over. But what I like to do is click on the plant, I hold down the Alt key, and then I'm gonna hold down the Shift key. And what this does is it freely places it while also repeating it so that you can place multiple of them at the same time. And you can do this with any item. So I'm gonna take this couch, hold down Shift, and then you can place multiple of them. Like I was saying earlier about the plants, I like to do it in a specific way. What I mean by that is I'll hold down Alt and Shift, but I will also press the period key at the same time. I'm going to place one, and then after I place one, I'm going to tap the period key, and this will rotate it. And I'm just going to keep doing that, placing one and pressing the period key over and over. Doing this makes your plants look a little bit more realistic, I guess. Like compared to doing this, I just think this looks much more natural and not as like repetitive. You can also size plants up and down using the left and right bracket keys. Basically you can size anything up or down except for like walls and roofs. I just randomly remembered that I wanted to add this to the video. So if you have a pool and you want to like delete the middle of it, you can do that same thing that we did with the wall. So just hold down Control and then it'll delete part of the pool. I get asked all the time how I quickly switch through swatches, so I'm going to show you how to do that. I'm going to take this couch and then I'm going to press the plus sign on the number pad on my keyboard. Now not every keyboard has a number pad. The number pad is the set of numbers that's on the very far right of your keyboard if you have an American keyboard. I'm not sure about different ones, but for me that's what I do. So you can press the plus sign to switch through. You can also press minus to like go backwards if you want to, but this is so much easier than placing it and then going here and then doing all this. All right y'all, that is it for today's video. I hope I taught you something new today. If I did, leave a like on the video and also leave me a comment and let me know which one of these did you not know about. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!